In this video, I'm gonna do some very destructive things to this crate to show you if it's even durable, but this is my disclaimer not to try this at home. I'm also gonna share some pros and some cons so that you can make an informed decision. I'll have it linked below if you wanna check out the stats. So the first and most important thing I look for in a travel crate or kennel for my pets, and I know this is the same as you, is safety. I want something that's going through and has been crash tested. There's a lot of really low quality, inexpensive, soft, or those budget hard plastic crates you see at the big pet stores that have never gone through any crash testing because they wouldn't pass. And as it stands, as I'm filming today, the Enventur has already passed the initial crash testing, and it's currently going through the final stages of crash testing in all of the sizes. Another important feature that I look for is something that's easy to store, which has never really been easy to find. Yes, they have those soft-sided, collapsible canvas crates, but they're definitely not safe in the event of an accident. But don't get me wrong, there are definitely some cons. I feel like I'm sounding like a walking ad or commercial for the Enventur, but it's just exciting. I've never seen anything like this before that I could lift with one hand. It's super light. It also has rust-proof material in here on the zipper, so if it does get wet, I don't worry about it rusting. For size reference, Wally is about 55, 57 pounds, and this is the large. I would not go smaller for him. In fact, measure your dog. They have a measuring system on their website, but I would say probably any dog 40 pounds or over would probably do best with a large size, in my opinion. I love the fact, though, this is cool. The front panel is all completely breathable mesh, so I don't worry about my dogs getting overheated. Plus, it's all breathable mesh on both sides, so my dog gets enough ventilation. That was a worry of mine before I tested it. Now, before I try to destroy this kennel, not with Wally in it, of course, I do have some cons. First and foremost, this is not gonna be the cheapest option on the market for a lightweight travel kennel. It's not going to be the most expensive either, but if you're looking for one of those cheap $20, $30 collapsible ones that easily fold down and they're made of like a canvas or a fabric, those can be great for training and they can work. They're going to have pretty much no safety aspects to them from what I've ever been able to see. It also took me probably 3 or 4 tries to fold it up correctly. Once we figured it out, it's easy to repeat. And I'm sure the instructions that came with it were very clear. We just didn't look at them. And I'm always going to share with you the absolute honest pros and cons of things, even though I'm probably the biggest fangirl of Digs. Now, let's show me trying to destroy this. Disclaimer, do not try this at home. I am not suggesting you do this. Especially don't do this with your animal in it. But I wanted to put this up to the test. Another worry I had at first was, is it going to be breathable enough? And so you can actually, look at this. This is how much the mesh is breathable. You can actually see Wally through the mesh. And I don't want to totally freak him out, but I can with one hand kind of easily lift it up, which is really, really, really convenient if I ever needed to move it with him in there. He's so good in there, Wally. He's such a good, okay, free. Good job, yeah. Okay, and then, I even got in here myself just to kind of test it and see, do I feel like I'm suffocating? Now, this is not made for humans, so please don't get in these crates at all. I do not recommend this, but I can be in here, I can breathe, I don't feel like I'm suffocating at all. And the reason it's so durable is it's made with the similar drop stitch PVC that stand-up paddle boards or those inflatable kayaks they take out on whitewater rafting or in the ocean are. It's honestly crazy, the military testing that they put it through. A compression test to up to 270 pounds. Tension testing where they pulled on all sides up to 270 pounds. And actually one of the first questions I asked them was about the materials used, because if my dog is going to be confined in here when we're in the car, I want to make sure they're not breathing in really harsh chemicals. And I know that's a little extra of me, but they did show and verify that they put it through additional safety testing to verify that there are no heavy metals, phthalates, BPA, or any other harmful chemicals. Now, these are 3 really important pro tips to help make setup even easier. So when you're pumping it up, make sure you pump it to 15 PSI. And once you get it all the way pumped up, when you pull that tube out, to avoid the air rushing out on the valve, make sure you push the little pin on the valve up. Then when you're deflating it to get all the air out for easy storage pretty much anywhere, you just have to swap the hose with the pump to the other side and use the pump to get all the air out instead of just having to push it out. This makes it so much faster. I want to quickly address the fact, because I know I'll get questions, they also make a more traditional crate with the metal diamond wire mesh sides. That's what I have here. This is what my dogs use if I'm going to use a crate indoors. Again, I'll have it all linked below if you guys are interested. I will be working to get you special discounts the best that I can for this. This video itself is not sponsored, but I do always ask brands, hey, can I get my community some special offers? You can actually open and close the top part of the crate for easy access. You obviously have this garage style opening, and you also have a traditional front door open as well. This just makes it to where if a dog wants to go in and out, especially if they're nervous, they can go in and out. By the way, if you found this helpful and you want me to do more product reviews, first and foremost, click that subscribe button and comment below what products I should review next. And if you have any questions, I'm gonna do my best to get to all of them to the best that I can. I really put this to the ringer, but at the end of the day, it's your decision on what crate or kennel you wanna get. I think the most important thing is no matter what, if at all possible, if your dog or cat even, your pet, if your pet is in a car, a moving vehicle, they need to be constrained in some way. At minimum, they could be in a crash tested harness and actually strapped to the seat belt, not with a tether. If you want to know why I feel that way, comment below, and I will have crash tested harnesses that I personally use and I personally trust for my animals. The fit is really important and how you put it in is important. And then the best case scenario is that your dog is in a crash tested kennel. So that's what really attracted me to this one, because at the end of the day, if your dog is not confined, here's 2 things. One, let's say, knock on wood, I hope this never happens, you get into a little crash. Your dog, if they're not constrained, can become very quickly, and this is heartbreaking, a projectile, a fast projectile that can just fly and get very, very, very injured. So obviously we don't want that. We want to confine them. I actually have 3. 2, it keeps them safe. It keeps you and your passengers safe. So if they do become a projectile, I know that's horrible, but that's the reality. If they do become a projectile, they could injure you as the driver or other passengers, or if they get excited or nervous, they could jump on you or passengers. And if you're driving, that could become unsafe. But the third reason, and something that nobody talks about, is if you get into a little accident, and let's say you're unconscious or you're unable to move, and paramedics and the police come and they're trying to get you out of your car. If you're, and I learned this from a police officer who came and did like a talk of dog training class I was in. He said, what a lot of people don't realize is if you don't constrain your dog, when the police officer or the paramedic comes and try to get you out, many, not all, dogs may try to protect you, and so they may not allow the police officer or the paramedic to get to you. But at the end of the day, how your pet travels is up to you. I just share the information I have based on my experience and my research so that you can make an informed decision. And if you want to learn how I crate train my dogs, click the video right here. Or if you want to see my favorite dog foods, click the video up here. And I hope you have a beautiful day. Goodbye.